Hello, kindergarten and first graders. Today I'm going to be teaching you about the Penguin Collage project. We're going to be doing this for the next couple of weeks. So go ahead and remember that if you are going to be in class on your day, then you don't need to watch this video. But if you miss the in-class day, or if you just need to catch up, you are welcome to watch this video to understand what you're going to be doing. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our penguin collage. All right, so the first thing, kindergarten and first graders, that we're going to be doing with this penguin collage is collecting our supplies. So this packet of paper is in your art folder. So you'll see instructions, a white piece of paper, construction paper, a black piece of construction paper, a blue piece of construction paper, half a yellow sheet of construction paper, and two fun colored papers. They're all different. The other things that you will need for this art project is, from your art kit, you're going to need your pencil. You're going to need your glue stick. And later on, you're going to be needing this white tempera paint. Now, you should have some scissors at home somewhere. So you're going to need to find scissors either in the supplies that your teacher, your homeroom teacher, sent home with you, or find them somewhere by asking a parent if you have some scissors somewhere. Today, we're going to go ahead and do the first part of our project. So let's go over our learning targets. I can use a variety of art tools, such as scissors and glues, to create a collage. I can follow instructions to get the desired outcome. I can create my own penguin and make it my own through creative choices. Let's look at how you draw a penguin. So we start with a smaller circle and an oval. Then we add a smaller circle inside of that and another oval for the beak and an oval for the belly. We add wings, eyes, and feet. Then we can add details like hats, scarves, and color. Let's go ahead and practice drawing our penguin right here on the space provided with our pencils. We start with a circle and an oval. We have an oval on the inside for its belly, and we have an oval on its head. Then we have an oval on the inside right there for its beak. You can also make it a triangle if you want. Two eyes, wings, and feet. Okay, make that beak a little clearer. Then we're gonna add some different things by like adding a scarf and maybe a nice hat to keep it warm. Now that we've practiced drawing out our penguin, we're going to be tracing and drawing shapes on our paper. This is important to follow along. Notice where things are placed on the paper to make sure we have enough space. We're going to be making an oval on the black paper and an oval for the head. We're going to be needing to make two wings that are exactly the same size on the black paper. In the white paper, we're going to have to make snow, a belly, and a face. And on the yellow, we're going to need to make the beak and the feet. On the cardstock, we'll make a scarf and the hat. Let's go ahead and get started. I like to have this paper out in front of me. Let's start with the black. So first, I want to make an oval that's nice and big, but still leave enough space for the head. So I'm on my paper. See how my paper is going this way? Landscape. Okay, I'm going to draw a nice big oval, nice and big, almost half the paper. Can you see it? Just so that you can see it a little easier, I'm going to draw it in white oil pastel, just to show you. Sometimes I like to draw half my oval and then the other half. Remember, you'll draw in pencil so that you can erase. I'm just drawing in white so that it shows up. All right, I still have more than half of my paper left. I want to think about how big my body is, and I think for me it helps if I draw my hand size. That kind of helps. So check if it's as big as your hand. You might want to make yours a little bit bigger than your hand. And then the head should be like the size of your fist. Hand, fist. So I guess about that size, okay? I can use my fist to sort of start a little bit of a circle here. But I know I can draw a little bit better like this. With my wings, I'm going to try and make them pretty close, using up all my paper. It's okay if they're a little different sizes. Okay, you can make them, I like to make them close to the edge of the paper. See how I'm using all of my black paper? You know that you've been successful if you had enough space for all of your drawing, and you have your oval is as big as your hand, or a little bit bigger than your hand. Your head is a little bit bigger than your fist, and I'd say your wings should be about the length of your hand, but not as wide. Okay, it does look weird to have it all separated like this, but when we cut them out using our collage techniques, we'll be able to see how it all comes together. This is the best way to make a nice big penguin. For now, I'm going to set this paper once I've got it all ready. Remember, if you've made a mistake, it's okay. Just erase it because you've drawn in pencil. The oil pastel won't really erase, so I want to make sure that I've drawn in pencil instead. I just drew in oil pastel so that you can see. Next, let's go over what we draw in the white paper. You can see I draw some snow for the penguin to stand on, a oval for the head, and an oval for the body. So I'm going to be making my snow a little bit less. So if I put my hand here, I'm going to start with that size. And snow can be kind of wiggly. Okay, so I'm going to make a few wiggles in it. All right. Now, my body was as big as my hand. I want this to be a little bit smaller than my hand. So if I have my hand size here, okay, I can then make it a little bit smaller than that. And the face, I'm going to use my fist, remember. Okay, so if I kind of guess, or if I draw lines like that, that kind of shows me how big my fist is. And I'm going to make it a little smaller than that to make the face. You don't have to make the face, the penguin have a white face if you don't want to. I like to have the white face so that I can draw nice eyes on my face. So we have our black paper, we have our white paper. When we're looking at our instructions here, the next thing we have to do is our yellow paper. Okay, we're going to be making our beak and our 2 feet. So when we think about our beak, okay, think about what size the head is, okay? It might help to just literally kind of draw where you think it might be on the edge of your paper, like that. If you want to get like a little triangle. I think that's a good way to start, okay? So putting it on your white paper, seeing how big it should be, and drawing it like that. The feet are also going to be really useful if you start on the edges, but you draw kind of little lines like that. Okay, and you want them to be both the same size. Sometimes it helps to put like a finger, and see, for me, making them as long as my first knuckle. That helps. That's all I need for my yellow paper. Our next stage is going to be cutting out our paper, so make sure you have your paper ready. All right, so for our next step, we're going to be cutting out our papers with our scissors. When we're holding our scissors, we want to make sure we're thinking about holding it like we would shaking somebody's hands. We put 2 fingers down below. You don't need to put 3 fingers. If your scissors are small, it's okay. You can just use 2 fingers. And your thumb on the smaller hole. Okay? So 2 or 3 fingers down here, 1 in the small hole. Should you ever point your scissors towards you? No, that's not safe. Okay? So your scissors should always be pointing away from you. Now that's going to be hard when you're starting to cut. So when we start to cut our papers, we hold our paper in one hand. And we make sure that we're holding it far enough away from, and we turn our paper as we cut. And I'm taking little bites that are nice and smooth, okay? Little bites, nice and smooth. Now, it might be like right here, it's getting a little tough for me to cut some more, so I might snip that off. I'm going to go ahead and cut this at another time. So it's easier for me to turn my paper, okay, and cut off those little bits so that it's nice and smooth. Now, I'm not going to use this side. When I glue things down, I'm going to glue on this side. This is the side that I'm going to have sticking out. All right. So next I'm going to go ahead and cut out all the rest of my stuff. Okay, so you can watch, but you can go ahead and start cutting out. Okay, really being careful as you're cutting. All right, so you have all your paper cut out, and now it's time to arrange. So let's get out our blue paper. Our white paper should fit, the snow paper should fit directly on the bottom like this when our paper is up and down. I'm going to put my black paper, my big round black paper, down first. Then my belly. I might sneak those wings into the back here. Always want to make sure my pencil marks are on the opposite side there. Gonna put might scooch it down just a little bit so that way I have enough room for my hat later on. All right, so I've arranged my penguin. It's important for you to arrange everything so that you know that everything fits right before you actually glue things down. This way, you might make some adjustments. Like I might say that my wings are a little too big, so I'm going to cut those down a little bit. Now, cutting something bigger is better and then cutting it down, because if you cut it too small, then you won't be able to get the paper back. All right. Now, the way that I have arranged it, okay, is I'm going to go ahead and take things off, okay, and that I have to think about how I'm going to glue things. So take a moment and think, if I started gluing things right here with a beak, then it wouldn't stick to the blue paper. Let's look at what touches the blue paper first. Is it the head? No. Is it the black oval? No. Is it the wings? Yeah, they do, but there's some overlap right here. So the very first thing I'm going to need to glue down is my white snow. And then I might need to glue down my wings. And then I might need to glue down my black body. And then my feet might go before my black body. I don't know. I can sneak them in there, but I have to think about that. And the head and the face and the beak are very last. Okay. I also want to make sure that I'll have enough space for next week when I add my my little snow hat and scarf. All right, so I'm going to take things off in order and then glue them down like I was talking about. So I'm going to take all of these things off first, okay? And if I put them in a pile over here, that helps me know that this is, okay? And then I can really see where my wings go, feet, and then this is my last part. All right, I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to flip my paper over to the side that has pencil marks. I'm going to go ahead and glue all around the edges with my glue stick. And then I'm going to draw an X. I might draw two X's. So it's important. Color all the edges and then draw an X. You don't need to put more than that on. Then I need to make sure that my paper aligns as nicely as I can. And then I'm going to press it down really hard. Press it, press. Make sure it's pressed down really good. All right, next were my feet. Okay, and if I need to, I can look and see in my wings. And it's going to help me know that they're in the right place if I put my little body back down here. Okay, and that looks good. So I'm going to flip this over right here, making sure I'm on that pencil, that pencil drawing side. Sometimes it helps. These glue sticks have a little stand, so it helps sometimes to have it like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue, especially since this is a smaller piece. I'm going to glue it like this and then stick it down. Glue it like this. All those edges and stick down. And then really quick, making sure I know where this is. Okay, round all the edges, draw an X. Flip around. Round all the edges, draw an X. Flip it around. Make sure. All right. Yep, it works good. That looks good. Okay, if it doesn't, you can peel it off and place it in a different spot until it looks good. But I think that looks good, so then I'm going to push it down. Really good, really good. Push. Make sure all of it's going to stay. I see like this part sticking up, so I'm going to stick it down again. All right, now with this one, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around and draw an X. And then flip it around. Make sure it's covering up those overlapping those spots right there. Okay, I'm going to really press around the edges and press in the middle. Press down really good. All right, next is my tummy. Going to go ahead and turn it around so it's on the pencil side. Draw all around the edges. Draw an X. Put it down. Really squish it down. My next one is my head. Gonna go ahead and turn it around, draw around the edge, draw an X. And I want to make sure it's facing the right way as this oval. Okay, it has a little bit of an overlap right here, but I want to leave enough space that I'm going to be putting my scarf on next week. All right, push it down. The face, circle around, draw some lines, push it down. All right, a fun thing you can do with the beak is make the beak sit up like this by folding it just a tiny bit so that you have just part of it folded right like this. And you only glue on this part that's folded. This is just optional, but that makes it so that the beak sticks out like that. So when you're done, make sure everything's pushed down, really pushed down, okay? And that's all we're doing for this week.